is Sony going to really sell to Marvel? Are they going to sell Spider-Man back after everything they've tried and everything they've tried to get going? Was Kraven they think so. Is Kraven the last nail in the coffin? Is it? I don't know. We're going to have to talk about that. Mufasa came out. Well, didn't come out. It's coming out soon, but the reviews came out. I saw it. I'll give my thoughts on that for sure. We'll talk about Kraven. I think it's the first movie that I can remember Roxy thinking it was a stinker. We'll talk about that. And not ever, but just recently. And there's a few more things. There's a few more things going on out there right now. There's Red One. Maybe didn't do very well in the box office, but crushed on Amazon. So we'll discuss that and much more here today on the show, as we also have the wonderful TV picks by Roxanne Stryer. So let's get into it. It is the Kristian Harloff Show, myself and Roxy. Here we go. Welcome back, one and all, to the Kristian Harloff Show here on a Tuesday. Joining me is my co-host on Tuesdays, Roxy Stryer. Hello, Roxy. How are you? Oh, you're muted. There we go.
Yeah, man.
Almost.
You'd think I'd know.
No, it's all right.
Almost. So close.
How are you?
So close. Clothes only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good. Did you love Kraven?
So loved.
You did not love Kraven. I don't think anybody.
Man, you're so right, though. Like, I'm kind of an easy mark. I'm not somebody who's out here looking to hate on anything. I usually find something to love about it. Or I really don't talk about movies that I don't like. But this one just went so horribly wrong.
Yeah.
What a bummer, man.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it. It's like, I love the way that you described kind of the other day of how you review movies. You know, you were like, look, this is how if I don't review it, I don't like critically like break it down. I just review it on how they make me feel.
Yeah.
And this one clearly didn't make you feel very good.
No, it made me feel like I really wasted my time. And in all fairness to the movie, I have had like an extremely busy, really difficult week when I went to see it.
Yeah.
So that makes it worse when you give 2 hours of your life to something that you really need somewhere else. But you're like, I just want to be entertained for 2 hours. Like, please distract me for 2 hours. And then it doesn't do its at least entertaining job. It's like, oh, no.
It's a real bummer. And, you know, the box office is obviously showing that. And I think that has led to Sony actually realizing to say, hey, maybe we're just not doing this right. What do we do? And then somebody.
Yeah, but they announced that before it came out, Kristian.
Well, they didn't announce it. They didn't announce
Yeah, okay,
it.
I know you the word announce. It was announced.
It was rumored.
Well, before it came out, it's not just a rumor. I mean, would you say things that Variety Deadline reports on that's a rumor?
Yeah. If it's
okay,
unless they say inside of that report that Sony has confirmed with us that they are no longer doing this. Now, look, the rumor has more merit to it when it's Variety and those things, because like that's when you hear it from just some random person, whether it's true or not, you go, I don't know how true that is, take it with a grain of salt. But a lot of times you hear, well, the trades are, even the way that you asked me the question, do you feel it's a rumor if Deadline?
Yeah.
Yes, I do, unless it's confirmed. To which they never confirmed they weren't doing it, but this rumor that we're about to cover here insinuates that Sony is going to, potentially give up the rights to Spider-Man. And so here is the report itself, and I don't know how much you've heard about this story yet, Rox, but I am going to read the story if I can find.
You got to find your glasses, Kristian. There's no way you're going to be able to read this.
No way.
I started looking at your eyes wandering. You were like, panic set in.
Yes, it did.
100%.
I don't know where they go. Our buddy Mark Cassidy writes that a new rumor is claiming that Sony Pictures might be considering selling the full rights to Spider-Man back to Marvel Studios following the disappointing debut of Kraven the Hunter. I doubt that's the only reason. Spider-Man, arguably Marvel Comics' most iconic and recognizable character, was off limits to Marvel Studios for many years until an unprecedented deal was struck with Sony. The agreement allowed both studios to share the wall crawler within the MCU, starting with 2016's Captain America Civil War and 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming, As part of the deal, Kevin Feige and former Sony Pictures chief Amy Pascal produced the Tom Holland led Spider-Man films for Sony Pictures, and although it worked out very well for both parties, it did keep Holland's Peter Parker from any Sony projects that aren't officially part of the MCU. We recently learned that the partnership never precluded Sony from using Spider-Man in its movies that didn't bear his name, but there was a feeling within the studio that audiences would not accept Holland's Spider-Man just popping up in a live-action film that wasn't part of the MCU. There are almost certainly a few aspects of the deal we haven't been made aware of, but one thing's for sure. Sony's attempt to develop a Spider-Man spin-off franchise without Spider-Man has not paid off. Although the Venom trilogy was successful, The Last Dance was the lowest grosses of the three, but still performed pretty well. With Morbius and Madam Web, they did not, and it looks like Kraven is also destined for box office bomb status. Despite one report claiming that Kraven will be the final SSU movie, Deadline believes the studio is actually planning to forge ahead after a reset. See, hence the rumor, Roxy. However, they may be considering taking a drastic measure following the most recent box office disappointment. According to the scooper My Time to Shine a Low, Sony is now seriously considering selling the Spider-Man IP back to Marvel. What would this mean for the character? Basically, it would allow Marvel to include Spider-Man in any future projects and develop solo Spidey movies featuring any and all of the hero's foes without any involvement from Sony. Despite the SSU's failing, the deal has been very lucrative for Sony, who stand to rake in after the upcoming Spider-Man 4 swings into theaters. With this in mind, we're not sure how much stock we put into this rumor, but there's a chance the trades will soon weigh in with an update, so watch this space. Okay. So, that's why I said in the beginning whether it was a rumor or not, because now, there's potential that they're going to keep pushing forward with this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which would be stupid.
Well, I feel like maybe it would be stupid, Kristian, but what is the alternative here? This is their thing. And I have pitched several alternatives to Sony, like deciding that they are prestige content only, backing off of this IP like Men in Black, Ghostbusters, which obviously they're not going to back off of, and leaning into what they do really well, which is finding indie artists and then supporting their work and then watching them flourish and making Oscar-worthy, buzz-worthy art. And then hitting small singles and then figuring out who they are as a studio before they take on more IP. Because right now, they're just not doing a good job with their major projects. But at the same time, as a person with a business mind, you think about this and it's like, okay, right now, they could cut their losses or they could figure out a way to make these work, which they haven't been able to do and clearly requires a new team. But it doesn't mean it's impossible. I really stand by the fact that there is a movie that could have been great in Kraven. You good?
Yeah, sorry. I was coughing off to the side and it didn't work.
You good, bro?
Keep going.
Hairball?
Getting over being sick, but finally am.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even check on you, man. You okay?
That's when you asked me because you wanted to make a bit for yourself. Come on, hurry up. Finish your bit. Finish your story.
That's it.
Okay.
That's the whole thing. That there's a great movie in all of these that could have worked, but they didn't find it.
That I don't disagree with you at all there. Like when it comes to, I tend to believe, and this is with any movie, in the same way that we always talked about comedy, right? Like anything, George Carlin always said this, anything can be funny. Not everyone can make it funny. And there might be the most taboo subject in the planet. You're like, well, that's not funny. There is somebody who could make a joke about it that made it funny. Now, it might not be easy, but it's possible. The same thing goes with movies for me. I think that they're the worst movie in the world that maybe with the right person behind it could have found some kind of story in it to make it really good. And the right team wasn't in place, and that's what happened. But what they do is they go, oh, well, we are the right team. So clearly nobody wants to see anything outside of Spider-Man. That's not the case. It's definitely not the case, and I agree with you that you could make these movies good. These movies have not been good, and there will not be a new team put in place because Tom Rothman is one of the main problems when it comes to this stuff, and he's not going anywhere. He's got that business mind thing. I think the alternative, I don't think they're going to sell. I don't even think that it's a possibility they're going to sell because they're making way too much money on the MCU movies that when they have $1 billion in the works potentially if the next Spider-Man does that. They're also going to collect money from the Avengers movies with Tom Holland in there, so they're not going to do that. However, what they could do, and I kind of soft pitched this when Clark and Sam were on the show last week.
Ooh, I want to hear about that.
Yeah, you can watch it. It's online. Sit back on a beach chair and collect your checks. At this point, you say, look, okay, Marvel, you can have all of the characters. You can have every single wing and sell them to you. We'll let you use them. We'll let you use anybody you want. You want to use Doc Ock. You want to use Kraven. You want to use everybody. You have the whole library. We're going to do a brand new deal, essentially what we're doing with Spider-Man, where you guys can take it, do whatever you want. We have no involvement with it except we collect money. That's it. Just collect money. And then you're still making money on your IP. You're basically licensing out your property. License out your property. Have a say, okay, yeah, we're not going to sell it to you, but we'll license it to you. You can do whatever you want. We will no longer be involved anymore. Here you go. That's how you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think that they will do that.
No, they won't.
I understand where you're coming from, though. And there's a lot of stubbornness involved here, but I don't think that they will do that. And it's unfortunate because who suffers the most is the fans who want to see these characters. You know, you can't tell me that Kraven and Rhino are horrible villains, Spider-Man villains. Right. They're not. No. So clearly this is a misstep, but it doesn't mean, and even I love Aaron Taylor Johnson, obviously interviewed him and Sam on Collider. Think that he is just an awesome guy. I think he's very talented. Ariana DeBose is clearly an unbelievable star. There's so many people involved in these projects who are great. And I would even like to keep the same actors. Fine, bring them over. Like, I want to see them in a story that's told well. But I just don't think we're going to get that.
No.
And maybe they're going to ride this even further into the ground, which would be crazy. The only places they can go from here, right, is doing a Lady Venom, which they already kind of pitched with the Juno Temple.
Right.
Because that's where we're at with the Venom property. I guess they could do a Kraven 2. With Kraven versus Chameleon.
What would justify that? What would justify doing?
I'm just telling you. I'm just saying where I guess they could be going.
But Lady Venom, though, is more probable because even the last Venom made some kind of money. So you say, okay, like you should be fired.
No, the last Venom, I don't even believe made money, Kristian. I think it broke even because the first one made money, the second one made a little less money, and the third one I think made its money back.
Okay.
Which is still better than what is happening here with Kraven, but I think it's possible that they could be trying to do something like that. I don't know what the hell you would do with Morbius. With Madam Web, what they could do storyline wise is actually have a movie about Madam Web now that she is Madam Web, because we had an origin story and never got to see her. And we have all of the other web slingers in her web.
Well, Venom did make money. The Last Dance, it cost 120 million to make. It made almost 500 million.
Okay.
So, but still, you're not wrong that it absolutely.
No, I am wrong that it didn't make money. I thought that it made money back.
But you're not wrong that it was the first one made a lot. The second one, it diminished. It definitely diminished.
Yeah.
It's still, but it would justify them making a Lady Venom movie if they wanted to. I mean, well. It would justify it, but you could understand why they would do it, as opposed to, hey, Kraven was the biggest bomb out of all the ones we did. Let's make a sequel to that, or even like Madam Web. Let's do the Madam Web. Let's do the way we set this up. We set it up like we're going to do more. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Let the whole thing go. Just stop. And one of two options: either the one I pitched or sell it.
But you're talking about right now what you want to see. What do you think we're going to see?
I think that they're probably just going to let the animation and Tom Holland thing run its course for a little bit, because as long as they're still making those movies, they still have the IP, and they're not spending money on it. So they sit back and they go, let's just make some money on these things here. Let's not sell anything. Let's not make anything right now. Let's take a breath and see. Because the thing that I always said is I would love to get into that deal, because my biggest head scratch for that whole thing is they have to have something in the contract that says you can't do a live action Peter Parker movie that's not, Tom Holland, or in general, like you can't do a Tobey Maguire movie again. You can't do a Andrew Garfield movie. You can't do those. If that's in the contract, well, then it would make sense. If it's not in the contract, then those are the biggest morons working in professional movie business right now.
Because you think that that's all they should be focused on.
They should have done that if they were allowed to. They should have announced one of their movies in 2022, right after No Way Home came out, when the fever pitch was at an all-time high. Like when everybody was raving about because I saw people in the comment section going, "Oh, the Andrew Garfield movies weren't that good." Andrew Garfield stole the freaking show in No Way Home.
And don't talk to me about it because everybody knows I love Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I didn't love that movie.
Best rom-com and then drum ever. Right. I love Andrew Garfield.
Right. Andrew Garfield, everybody does. And he showed up and everybody loved it. It was like, oh, he should get another shot. He should have absolutely gotten another shot. And what they could have done is single movie Andrew, single movie Toby, then give them there's 3 movies right there. Then they do a movie together. And that, if they're allowed to. But if they're not allowed to, then I get it. But I don't know. But yesterday, Roxy, at the beginning of the show, Roca came in and he was hot.
Heated? Okay. What happened?
Well, because he's tired of the texts of announcing that he's losing all the time. And he finally it woke him up because he wasn't really, he was like, I don't know, whatever. And he's making excuses of why he was losing. So he came in and he was tired of the text. And he asked the audience, he said, listen, I'm going to win this thing this week. Get me to 100. I said, 100? You just need to get to 70. He got to 100 yesterday. So Roca started the day at 100. And so we got to see who can take him out. Did you hear about what happened with Steph last week?
No, what happened?
Holy crap. So last week, Roca wins Monday. You win Tuesday. Clark and Sam win Wednesday. Steph, by the time we got to the questions, was at like 22 questions. And then we were an hour and a half in, and I was going to call it a day. And because we didn't have enough, and it was like 35, 40 questions. Within the sign off, when I was like, okay, it's time, we're signing off now. Someone puts in a question, someone put in another one. She came back to winning at 80, right? She didn't win the whole week because, the next day turned out that Winston and Coy took it, but it was a battle.
On Winston's actual birthday week, as opposed to the week before, which he claimed was his birthday week, but was not his birthday week.
No, it was not.
Trying to do it for the points. Listen, I will say it once, I'll say it twice, I'll say it a million times. Steph's the most likable person on the planet. Never count her out.
No, I was so impressed. I couldn't believe it. I thought she was toast. But nonetheless, this week Roca is standing tall with 100.
Good job, Roca. You can do it, honey.
Oh, that's nice.
It's good for you.
Wow, nice and condescending. So did you see Mufasa last night?
No, I didn't go see it. Okay. And I'm really bummed because and you can correct me, Kristian, I have heard the absolute worst things about this movie. I hear it is just truly the biggest stink bomb possible.
Who said that?
I heard, Greg said that the screening was horrific, that the movie is atrocious, and that everybody stayed afterwards to talk about how absolutely tragically bad this movie was.
Oh, wow.
Is that not what happened in New York?
Nah. I saw the movie and I said, it's so funny because I gave it kind of a lukewarm out of the theater reaction, right? It's kind of lukewarm. And people are like, oh, you become so cynical. This one guy, you become a movie snob. I was like, no, I just kind of told you what I thought of the movie. So, it was like, and I probably, from what you're saying, probably gave the nicest one. This is what I said of the movie. The movie looks beautiful. It looks beautiful, right? Barry Jenkins is a great director. He really is. So it looks beautiful. It's compared to the first or the live action 2019 one or whatever. It's an original story. Did we need a prequel for Mufasa? No, not really. Are some of the moments inside of it, oh, that's a cool moment how they did. That's an emotional moment, sure. There's other times that seem forced, rushed. Do I think my 6-year-old will love it? I do. I think she'll love it. You do? Even though I'm not a 6-year-old, I have a 7-year-old, but still.
This is a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, so it is certified rotten.
Yeah.
And I heard that this is also not just a Mufasa origin story. This is a Scar origin story. That got me kind of excited. I love Scar.
But I don't love where they went with that story, right? Like, so here's what I was concerned with and what I didn't wind up, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but like in the trailer, you see like, oh, well, Mufasa was adopted. He wasn't actually, him and Scar weren't really brothers. I didn't love that. I still don't love that. But what I said to myself,
well, that doesn't make you guys not really brothers.
Well, but I
just
mean,
makes you not biologically
royal blood brothers is what I meant.
Yeah.
So because they weren't like official blood related. So
guys, Kristian stance on adoption's not really your brother.
That's right.
It's not your brother.
Blood related relative. So it wasn't his actual blood relative. So I said to myself, okay, so what does that mean? So Scar was supposed to be the king inside of this pride, and then Mufasa just was the better lion, so they gave it to him outside of royal blood. Like, how's that going to work? And then they explained it. I was like, okay, I see how they explained that and where that went and how they put things together and just kind of cast a crew. And what I think that didn't work, and what I could definitely see people maybe complaining about, because I felt it to be the worst part about it, to be honest, which is a bummer because I love them in the original, was Timon and Pumbaa.
Bummer.
Their jokes just fell flat. Billy Eichner, who I like, and Seth Rogen, who I like, their jokes just fell flat and almost became annoying. And the music wasn't that great. Lin-Manuel Miranda, who was, I thought, missing from Moana 2, music was fine.
Well, I heard he did some of it, and then other people came in and out to complete, and it wasn't fully him. I'm looking at some of these reviews right now. I want to get your thoughts on if these are accurate. The Lion King remake, this is from Fred Topple from United Press International. Yeah. The Lion King remake ruined what was previously established as a great story. Mufasa only ruins its own derivative story, so it's not as bad.
That's kind of what I was saying, right? Like, so it's like it's its own story. So like the difference between, if you hated the 2019 remake because it's basically a shot by shot of the original,
I really liked that.
I didn't mind it either. It's a shot by shot. I didn't mind it. It's fine. This movie is its own movie. It makes up its own story.
This is from Barry Hertz from Globe and Mail. Do the ultimate results of Mufasa the Lion King justify the fact that one of the film's great talents was taken out of the game for almost half a decade? No, especially no.
What's that mean?
I don't know. I'm asking you because I figured you would know. What talent
was taken out half a decade? I don't understand that.
Okay.
All right, next.
Yeah, so I guess it doesn't have to do with the plot of the movie.
I don't know that.
Okay. From Petrana from Polygon. There's a glimmer of something wonderful in Mufasa. There's just too much working against it, from the flat animation and subpar songs to the preordained fate that awaits both characters.
I agree with that 100%.
Okay, so there's a glimmer of something wonderful.
Yeah. It's like I thought Aaron Pierre did a great job as young Mufasa, and the voice actors were all really good, and what they were going for worked. Is just there's a moment that you're expecting to happen, obviously, from the Lion King lore, and when it does, you're like, that's how? Like that? That was kind of rushed, and I don't buy it. It's almost,
okay.
Yeah.
Tim Gerson, Screen International. The CG images still impress, and there are gripping moments during the film's second half as the insecure Mufasa embraces his identity. But like too many origin stories, Mufasa often rehashes what was once stirring about this material. Yeah. Is the second half better than the first?
Maybe, but I think the only problem with that logic for this movie is that it's the things that they build up in the first half that make the second half good. You know what I mean? Like the relationships that they did and leading to what he said, like it's the insecurities building up to that first half adds to it. But yeah, when he finally gets to do what he's meant to do, sure, but not overwhelming.
Moana 2 or Mufasa?
I'm Moana 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say Moana 2.
So I haven't seen either of these, so I guess I'll watch Moana 2 first.
I would say Moana 2 because Moana 2 is there's a little bit more. I think there's a little more to it.
Wow, what a bummer! What a bummer!
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that your theater didn't review it as poorly, but when I was on the phone with Greg at 1 a.m. last night, and he was shredding this thing. His review shredded it.
Okay, so the other thing that I will say is one of the main things is that I always do now with these movies is that I say to my son, and Greg is not saying this because Greg does not have children, And the idea, and the same thing I said Moana too. The question is, will my 7-year-old enjoy this? If I felt like, oh my God, my 7-year-old would be bored out of her mind, then I would say, this is just, who is this for? Because this is not like, what movie? Lightyear. Lightyear, I didn't mind the movie, but I knew that my 7-year-old would be lost. And I was like, who?
And was she?
Yeah, she had no clue what was going on. And she
Wow.
wasn't 7 at the time. She was like 5, but still, it was like, there's certain times you're like, no, it doesn't work. So this time, no.
Did Vivi like Lightyear? Was it better if you're a little older?
Yeah, but forgettable for her. She
Okay.
doesn't. She never really. I don't even think she remembers that she even saw it. But
Okay.
the reason why I think that my screening was probably different is that there were a lot of kids in that theater. So I think that there were tons of kids in that theater, and I think that they all really enjoyed it. So because when I got out, I heard
Oh, you're screening at a ton of kids in it?
Yeah, when I heard the kids, when I was coming out, I heard like a lot of the kids were loving it. I was like, oh, that's why. Because Galaxy Geeks asked me a question and said just now, do I still think that it'll beat Sonic? I still think it's got a good chance because of the IP, and the difference is, again, Greg Alba is not the target audience for who's going to go see this movie and pay
because he hates children.
Maybe, but it's going to be the families. It's going to be the families that are going out to see. It's going to be the kids that are going to really want to check this out. The kids are going to really be the ones that are going to push this forward in the same way that they did Moana. So we'll see.
Okay, I believe you.
Anyway, so what say you guys? Do you think that this is going to make money? Do you think it's going to do well? Do you think that nobody's going to check it out? Do you think that maybe the magic is gone? That was one of the things, Roxy, I think the magic was not there with this movie. That's the bummer of it. All right, I got some peeps to tell you about, and you're going to be excited to hear about both of them. We'll start you off with our good friends over at AG1. Let's hear it. I'll tell you about AG1. I've told you about AG1, and it's the best time to tell you about AG1 because it's the holiday season. And it is so hard, I'm telling you from experience, to stay motivated and to eat healthy during the holidays. It's always a challenge. So for me, what I make sure that I do, I have AG1 when I start off during the day. I know that if I'm going to have all my vitamins in one shot, I got AG1. Before AG1 was a part of my daily routine, I was all over the place. I was scattered, and I was like, oh, maybe I should do vitamins, but it takes 75 and different things and mix and match. It was a mess, so I couldn't do it. So for me, as you guys have seen, you guys have been so kind and complimenting. You're like, oh, I can tell you've lost weight. You look healthy. AG1. The travel packs are great too, because if I don't have the morning routine for some reason gets thrown off, and I'm like, oh man, I got the travel pack. I'm on the train. I put it in a water bottle. Done. What's so good about AG1 is it just sleep quality, more energy. It's wonderful. Try this new year. Try AG1 for yourself. It is the perfect time to start a new healthy habit, and that's why I've been partnering with them for so long. They've been with us since I started this show. And AG1 is offering new subscribers free $76 gift when you sign up. You get a welcome kit, you get a bottle of D3K2, and you get 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/bigthing to get this offer. That is drinkag1.com/bigthing to start your new year on a healthier note. You will thank me, I promise. Now, let's talk about JOYMODE. That's right. You guys know how much and how long I've been telling you guys about JOYMODE. So for me, JOYMODE is the bomb. And why? Because it's like that pre-workout for sex. It really is. And I'm telling you, and you guys know how long they've been with us. You just want to say goodbye to those weak erections, ladies and gentlemen, with JOYMODE's Sexual Performance Booster. It's got an all-natural supplement. It is designed to enhance blood flow. It gives you the firmer, more reliable peace of mind down there. But JOYMODE is not just about better sex. It isn't. Daily use supports healthier blood vessels, boosts heart health, and it enhances your athletic performance. You didn't know that. Expertly formulated and backed by science, it's proven to improve erectile function by 50% in just 60 days. Hey now. So, simply Mix a pack with water and feel the effects with 45 minutes. Take control with JOYMODE. Get a boost anytime, anywhere. Never miss a beat. JOYMODE features just 4 simple, proven ingredients. Unlike prescription options that involve doctor visits and managing refills, JOYMODE provides a straightforward, effective solution. Embrace a natural way to boost your performance without the complications and side effects of traditional medicine. So if you're looking to take your game to the next level, you got to try joymode.com. You got to use that code BIGTHING. You get 20% off. TRYJOYMODE.com and use that code BIGTHING. Get 20% off your first order. It's worth it. Well, Roxy, you're not going on dates, so you don't need nobody needs JOYMODE yet in your
You don't know that?
Oh, that's true. Well, is that true?
I heard a lot of sex last night.
Oh, you heard a lot of sex. Is this
Yeah.
the neighbor going nuts again?
Yeah.
Oh,
And that must mean, and I'm very happy for her, that her hip has healed.
She's back at it again. Did you do the audio?
I started doing it through the wall. And I have, maybe I'll play it for you guys next week. I have a tiny little clip. I started playing it, but then I was in the bathroom and I really had to pee, so I had to stop.
Oh, okay. Well, next time. So there you go. The sex lady's back.
Yeah, no, I go on a lot of dates, Kristian. Thanks for noticing.
Yeah. Well, you could
just a lot. I go on a lot.
Okay. Hey, did you watch the Yellowstone finale?
Why do you think I don't go on a lot?
Because you told me you don't.
Oh,
Yellowstone.
well, that's accurate. And did I watch the Yellowstone finale?
Yes.
The finale's already up.
What do you want me to tell you?
Really?
All right, I'm just going to read this story.
No, I haven't watched it yet. I'm 2 episodes behind.
All right, Yellowstone finale sets viewership record. The series finale of Paramount Network's neo-Western drama series Yellowstone drew 11.4 million on Sunday night alone, not including encores via Paramount Network and CMT. The news comes via video AMP data released by Paramount. The company claims that makes it the most watched episode in the series to date. The finale aired on Paramount Network and CMT. Nielsen's data for Sunday night is not currently available as the contract between the companies, Nielsen and Paramount Global, expired. The series has always been a ratings juggernaut for Paramount, and as seen by the Costner last season premiere, having attached 16.4 million viewers across Paramount Networks and various other Paramount-owned cable networks, along with encores. The final, I don't want to know because if I ever wind up watching it, so I'm not going to see what it says there. There's John Roca in the picture up there, top left. Okay. So
there was only 6 episodes for this part of the season. No, I'm 2 behind. Okay. I will catch up. I will review this next week for you guys. I'm really excited about that. It's not a surprise that this was huge in the ratings because obviously we know Yellowstone is Succession for Middle America. And boy, oh boy, do I love this show. I went home and tried to convince 15 people to start watching this show. I can't get anybody on the coast to watch this show. I don't know what it is about Taylor Sheridan shows that they just are less interested in than people at home. Yeah. But man, I can't get my LA friends to watch, and I can't get my Boston friends to watch.
Well, somebody's watching it.
Everyone in the middle of the country watches this show. Yeah. It is Succession for everybody who is not based on a coastal city.
Well, you know what else people were watching maybe when they weren't watching Yellowstone, your friends? Seems like they might have been watching Red One. Because Red One was Amazon's biggest film launch. The Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans-led holiday action comedy Red One bombed at the box office. Turned out to be a massive hit at its originally intended home, streaming. The title has reportedly had the biggest opening for an Amazon MGM Studios film to date on Prime. Over 50 million worldwide viewers reportedly watched the holiday movie over its first 4 days of release on the service. That beats the previous record held by this year's Roadhouse reboot, which scored 50 million over a longer time span of its first 2 weeks of release. Red One played on over 3,000 screens in North America and 3,300 screens internationally, with a box office haul of over 175 million, split around 55-45 domestic international. Due to its costly 200 to 250 million production budget, that number was seen as a bomb, helped along by scathing critical reviews. I don't think scathing is correct from what I saw. I think it's more scathing on Mufasa than that movie. The title was originally planned as a direct-to-Prime video launch in late 2023 before being delayed to accommodate a theatrical release. Thus, the cinema run was only part of the strategy, with the streaming launch considered just as important. Jennifer Salk, head of Amazon MGM Studios, said in a statement, "With Red One, there was no doubt that strategy needed to include a theatrical release and associated marketing campaign, which drove audience to theaters and generated awareness for the film with viewers who would ultimately tune in on Prime Video. It's rewarding to see our plan pay off for customers, and we are incredibly thankful to the entire filmmaking team and cast who helped make it happen." It's a great spin. Red One stars Johnson as North Pole. Yeah. So I think that was and I say that like I legit.
Kathleen Kennedy needs whoever trained this woman.
Legit.
Kathleen Kennedy needs her.
That is a legit way to spin this. And and you say, hey,
it's all part of the plan.
Part of the plan the whole time. It's like, no. The part of the plan was this. Hey, let's make this a streaming movie. It'll do really well on streaming. I got Dwayne Johnson on the phone. He really wants to do a big IMAX release. No. We can't. We're not doing theatrical for this thing. We're doing streaming. I got Dwayne Johnson again. He really wants to put this thing in theaters. All right. We don't want what happened with Roadhouse to happen here. So what do we do? Let's make it. Let's put it out there. I do agree that part of the plan was, let's put it out there. It'll bring awareness to it. We're going to spend a little money on marketing here, and we'll probably lose the money in the theater, but let's see if we can make it back on streaming.
But does this movie make its money back, Kristian? Wasn't this movie $250 million?
It was, but that's when the weird thing with streaming comes in, right? Because you look at a movie that's made, there are movies that are made for Netflix that are $200 or $150, $200 million that are never going to see any money at all. And it's a question of subscribers, awareness. Are they bringing in more
What
eyeballs?
Movies that are made for Netflix are $250 million?
Remember, there's those Russo brother movies that were in like the high 100s, and there were some movies. You look at some of the budgets, the Chris Hemsworth stuff, and some of the other ones,
like Gray Man stuff. 250 is really
250 is crazy. 250 is crazy. Like that's a crazy number for theatrical release in general. So that's a crazy number. But streaming. But look at even like the rumor of what the Wolves for Apple was something like crazy, like high 100s for that movie. And there's no world where they thought they were going to make that movie back in the theater. And you and I have had this conversation in the past. We don't see eye to eye on it, but I think there are certain movies that are just built for streaming, like just streaming movies. I think
that as well.
Oh, well, you argued with me last time on it.
No. The movies that you think are made for streaming, oftentimes I don't think are made for streaming.
Okay.
But of course, I think some movies are made from streaming.
This particular movie, I think this was built for streaming. Even though it's huge, it's a big movie that you can see on an IMAX thing. The way the movies that people are going to choose in theaters right now, this is not one of them. There's a reason why 50 million people, whatever it was, watched this, because it was a perfect time to put it out right at Christmas time. It's a new Christmas movie.
Can you guess for me what the Rotten Tomatoes score is on this and what the popcorn meter score is?
I would say the popcorn meter is 84%, 85%. Okay. I would say that the Rotten Tomatoes is 43.
Okay, the popcorn meter is 90.
Okay, so close.
And the tomato meter is 30. Wow. So this got slammed by critics.
Yeah, see, well, here's the problem, though, again, with Rotten Tomatoes. It's like, could I give this movie, because Fresh is 3 out of 5.
Right. And would you give it that? No.
I don't know if I would. I probably go like a 2.9 or something, but I still enjoyed, but I enjoyed watching it for what it was.
But that's the point, right? Like if we're, especially around Christmas time, when we're just figuring out where to spend our time and what we want to watch, it's this movie. Is it better than it is worse? No, it sounds like not. I didn't see it, so I don't know. And
you would enjoy it. You would enjoy it, Matt. So we just released Matt Serra's episode this morning. He talked about how he saw it with his family, and I said, "Let me guess. I'm going to guess what you thought of it." And I said, "You enjoyed it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it with me and the family. We sat down. We were in the living room. We watched it as a Christmas movie." And I was like, "That's what the rest of the people did that turned that movie on. They just weren't expecting, and you weren't expecting much, right? None of those people are going to see it in the theater, though."
When you watched this movie, did you think they could do this for $100 million less dollars?
Yes, 100%. I thought that the most intriguing part of the movie was this both the Rock's backstory and Chris Evans' backstory, not the cockamamie over the top action that they put all the money in the CGI and all that. You could have shaved off so much of that. It didn't further the story at all. Krampus was great, and Krampus was like practical effects. It was like a guy in a suit, which was amazing. I loved Krampus, and I think there was a lot of CGI that they could have scaled back and easily trimmed $50 to $100 million off this movie easily, and probably made money there and on Amazon. So, what happened? Yeah, what happened? Gas? Is that what you said? You're muted now.
Yeah, I'm obviously dying. I'm coughing. What do you keep talking to me for?
Because you just started convulsing. I mean, I gotta see what's happening.
You don't know what.
Okay, so can I say 2 words to you? Karma, karma, biatch.
Where's the karma?
When you were going after me before, I was trying to cough off air. I was trying to not make it.
You didn't mute yourself. I did.
Oh yeah. Whatever. Hey,
that was crazy. You wouldn't even let me just cough in peace.
I didn't know that's what you were doing.
Like, take me off the screen and let me
cough. I didn't know that's what you were doing. I was having a conversation with myself.
Have you never seen a human being cough before?
Not when I'm talking.
What?
Never. I've never heard anybody cough when I'm talking.
That's bad shit.
Bad shit.
That was a bummer is I had a point to make, but obviously I don't remember because I just lost all the oxygen going to my brain for 2 minutes.
Yeah. All right. What did you think of the Superman teaser? Not teaser, but not teaser, but the announcement.
Do you miss living in LA for things like that?
No.
Because you would have been at that Superman event.
It's okay. I'll see the trailer when it comes out on Thursday.
Yeah, with the peasants like me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is the craziest teaser I've ever seen
It's
in
not
my
even
life.
right. It's not even a teaser. It's an announcement.
It's like insane what this did to all of us.
Yeah.
I think it just shows that inherently when people are like, everybody wants movies to fail nowadays. It's so not true. Nobody wants this movie to fail. Everyone is hoping that this is the greatest Superman movie ever. Or I don't mean everybody. I'm sure there's some people in their basements like die. But most people who are normal people
are hyped. People are hyped for this movie.
Saw this, listened to the score.
The score was
looked
everything.
Looked at David Cornsweet, saw this moving image, looked at the colors, look up.
Everything.
And felt chills on their body, tears in their eyes.
Yep.
It was wild. This is how we feel about one image. I'm thinking Thursday's going to blow us away.
I think so too, and I think that what he did with that is he also and I could be wrong. We could be wrong when we see the movie, but it seemed like he was like, I know everybody's worried about the humor and all that, but I know what I'm doing here, and I know the feel that I want to make you guys feel. Check this out. This is just an announcement of this dude looking like he's flying up, into the sky with this Hans Zimmer meets John Williams music that and you heard the original Superman theme in there too, right, Rox?
Mm-hmm.
And like that part of it, that Riley and I were going back and forth on it, it was
back and forth.
Yeah,
in a good way.
Yeah, texting, just back and forth of how excited we were. Yeah, multiple texts, and we were just he couldn't stop listening to it. When I was at the screening for Mufasa, I was putting up the thing in my ear and listening to it. It was great.
Was this before your show yesterday or after your show yesterday?
Before.
So you were able to talk about it?
Yeah, we led with it.
Did Roka love it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I haven't talked to one person who was like, not for me.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some people, which I very much disagree with. I've been saying it for a long time, where I thought that the John Williams score in some way should be used, and I got pushed back by so many people saying, no, it should be a different theme now. Let it go. It's not the same. I said, James Bond has the same theme, no matter who the James Bond is, right? And it was like, well, yeah, but it didn't. But George Reeves didn't have that theme. It wasn't. I was like, but it was the one that became iconic. The one that becomes iconic if you associate, like when you hear that theme, you think of Superman.
Yeah.
And so what I love is it looks like they're going to do their own version of it, and they're going to give hints of it throughout it, but it's still going to be the overall theme of it, and you're still going to get that air of hope.
I have not, and sometimes there's just different internets for different people. I have not experienced the same thing that you have. I haven't seen one person who
Oh,
pushed
really?
back on
Oh
using.
my
Yeah.
God. That's all I saw. Even when he made his announcement, it looks like you can't use original music. You got to use John Williams' theme. And I was like, and I tweeted back I never tweet back at people. And I tweeted back and I said, that's Superman's theme. It's like James Bond's theme. It's his theme. So so I
Yeah, I didn't see
absolutely
that.
love it. Did you so I'm Thursday is when it comes out. I didn't even look because there was like a leak. I saw it on Comic Book Movie today. There's like a leak of what the trailer actually has in it, and I didn't even bother. I don't want to see.
No, I of course didn't look.
Yeah.
I really am very excited for Thursday.
Yep.
I'm supposed to do a reaction with Real Rejects to the trailer,
Yeah.
but I might not be in town.
Oh, right.
So
Right.
if I am, bright and early, 6 a.m.,
That's gonna.
I will be there.
That's what I love. I love that it's not that time
Yeah.
for me. 9 o'clock for me. I'll be already be there.
Yeah, for sure. Like what's really tough about the 6 a.m.s is that it does mean having to get up at 4 because I have to get ready and then get in the car by 5 because they're far as hell.
No,
so,
thank you.
That is not
no.
the dream scenario, but I might not be here regardless.
No, I'll be here at 8.
Although there's not traffic at that time, so that's
you'll be okay with that. But like today, I got into the office, and then Luke had texted me, and I guess that I reacted to the new Karate Kid trailer, which popped, and so I watched that one. I saw that, and I put that up there, which was, I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm curious to see what that tone of that movie is going to be. But I mean, that's I'll be in the theater for that one, and then. Roxy, we were actually talking about Sony before. There's more with the animated stuff happening. It was just announced, I guess, today. Okay. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse announces the directing team. But when's it going to arrive in the theaters? It's been the nagging question. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse has announced its directing team, and they're 2 filmmakers with serious Spidey knowledge. Coy Jandreau and... I don't know. However, the news raises serious questions about the threequel's release date. Sony Pictures has announced that Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse has found its directors in Bob Persichetti and Justin K. Thompson. And yes, the news comes our way 9 months after the threequel was meant to swing into theaters. Persichetti was part of the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse directing team and executive produced Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Thompson, meanwhile, was a production designer on the first movie and graduated to the directing team on the sequel alongside Joaquin Dos Santos and Kemp Powers. Given their respective roles in shaping this animated franchise, this is quite the dream team for the movie. While it's possible that they've been working on Beyond the Spider-Verse for longer than we've been made aware, even a 2026 release feels optimistic. We have had the immense privilege of being part of Mike's journey from the very beginning, and directing a conclusion to his story is beyond exciting. The creativity and care poured into every minute of this project has been truly inspiring. We have crafted what we feel is a very satisfying ending, and we can't wait for fans to experience it. We're bringing everything we've got. According to the trade, Lord, Miller, Pascal, Avi Arad returned to produce, with Jinko Gotch also joining the team. Okay, so I think that they're probably right. Look, it's good that they have people signed up. They have a story that they are ready to put into play, but I think that they're right. We're looking at 2026, 2027 before we see this movie.
I think 27.
Yeah.
Because that's how long these seem to take.
Yeah, it takes a while.
And we had a ton of controversy, obviously, about the animation teams that work on these movies. And I think that means that we really need to give people time and space and no more bad press with any Spider-Man anything. So yeah, I think it means 2027.
Yeah, it's probably what's going to happen. And there's so many, 2025 is going to be a crazy year in general. There's so much happening in 2025 that you're going to just keep hearing about this movie. When's it coming out? And when it finally does, it's an animated movie. So it's been, the actors aren't going to get older in the face, so it's like you can do what you need to do with it. And I think you take your time with it. I think that even though it'll be longer, I still think the audience will show up for it. The hype will be there. And I always say now, I know it's not the same thing, but everyone's like, well, is it too late? Is there a movie if it's been too late, nobody cares anymore? I just always direct people back to Avatar, because Avatar was 2009, and then 2000, and then 2022 was the second one, something like that. Is that right?
Mhm.
I think 22. So I know it's Avatar,
It
it's
might have been
different, but
last year.
it wasn't last year. It was two.
It wasn't?
No,
Okay.
it definitely wasn't 2023, but it was but it was I think it was 2022. Either way, point is, now 3 years later, they're doing another one, and that's going to be a shorter break, and that will be, and it's still going to crush. So, and it's Spider-Man, so I think it's going to do very well, and it'll be good. Beetlejuice.
When you say that 2025 is stacked,
yeah,
obviously for me, off the dome, of course, Superman, Wicked Part 2, and the show that I've been waiting for forever coming over to the TV side of things, Severance, are all coming back. So for me, just off of that, it's so exciting. But what are you talking about when you say stacked? Are you referencing specifically comic book movies, or is there something else?
Just to I'll read off and I'll show you guys again. I've done this before. I'll do it again, but I just won't do it as I'll just kind of go through the releases that are coming out from January on, and you're gonna be once you get to like April, you're gonna be like, holy shit! It's like what happened before the pandemic. We haven't had this kind of year in quite a while. So this is the first one is this is January. You got Den of Thieves 2, Better Man, Last Showgirl, January 17th, one of them days, Wolfman, January 24th, Flight Risk, Presence, January 31st, Dogman Companion. Nothing that screams out, oh my God, that's crazy, anything different, right? But then February 2025, Love Hurts, Hard Eyes, Captain America, Brave New World is like the first big one. Then Paddington in Peru, same weekend. The Monkey, Unbreakable Boy. February 28th, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. And then March 7th, Night of the Apocalypse, Sinners, Black Bag, Novocaine, Alto Nights, Disney Snow White, and Woman in the Yard. Okay,
so far feels like a normal January, February, March.
Agreed. But April, Minecraft movie, 11th, Amateur, King of Kings, Mickey 17, and then The Accountant 2. Decent April so far. This is where it starts to get hairy. Because what we were getting was like one big summer movie, maybe two in 2023, 2024. Now, Thunderbolts, okay? You've got Final Destination in May 16th. Lilo and Stitch, Mission Impossible, an untitled Warner Brothers event film. Karate Kid Legends, that's a pretty big May. So
what is that untitled Warner Brothers film? Any idea?
No, I have no idea. But that's May. That's a pretty big May. That's like old school summer where every week you have one or two releases. That wasn't happening for quite a while.
Well, what was May this year? Let me see.
I'll go back in a second. But June 2025, Ballerina, Elio, How to Train Your Dragon live action. 28 years later, another untitled Warner Brothers event film. June 27th, F1, Megan 2.0, untitled Sony Marvel live action movie. So back-to-back bangers in May and June. July, Jurassic World Rebirth. July 4th, untitled Angel Studios film, untitled Matt Stone, Trey Parker musical. July 11th, Superman. July 18th, I Know What You Did Last Summer, the Smurfs movie. July 25th, Fantastic Four. So a banger, banger, banger. August 2025, The Bad Guys 2, Naked Gun, untitled Warner Brothers event film again. Freakier Friday, Mercy, Nobody 2, Insidious 6. That's just August. Then September 5th, Conjuring, Downton Abbey 3, The Bride, and then October, Michael, Roofman, Animal Friends, The Black Phone 2, Mortal Kombat 2. And November, Predator, Now You See Me 3, The Running Man, untitled Warner Brothers film, Wicked. So that's a big November right there. And then December is big. This December 2025 is bigger than this one for sure. Five Nights at Freddy's is going to be massive. Then nothing is coming out the following week because they want to get out of the way for Avatar, Fire and Ash, and then the SpongeBob movie. And then there's going to be other things that pepper in as the Oscar movies come out. But that is just a crazy 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go back and you look at the movies that came out, because you know what happened is a lot of the movies that were supposed to come out in 2023 and 2024 from the strike got pushed into 2025.
Yeah. No, I think it's a big one. But just, I like the amount of variety that we have.
Yeah.
It isn't just, but in terms of like our big franchises,
yeah.
To me, a massive year when we're on this show, when we're talking about our nerdy little hearts, is a year in which there is something IP related for Marvel, Star Wars, DC, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, like that, where there's those big heavy hitters.
Right, but when was the last time you had that? That's what I'm saying. Like,
really, really long time ago.
And this is what I mean. The closest thing to that, you've already got this year. You had one Marvel movie come out, and that was Deadpool and Wolverine. Next year, you were supposed to have 4. You got 3. You got Captain America, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four. So Marvel it goes to 3 movies. DC hasn't had a movie in God knows how long, and now they have Superman, which is arguably going to be one of the biggest movies of the year. Star Wars still nowhere to be found, but then you got Avatar, which kind of takes the place of Star Wars.
Yeah, right? It's big IP.
So you got those are alone, and then the kids movies that they have. You got Elio coming out. You got all these different things that are coming out. So it's going to be.
The summertime really started picking up.
Yeah, well, that's some. Well, so the ones that are going to show up that are going to define if it's going to be a big year is really anywhere between April, May until August. And then September usually is kind of a drop. What's your October look like? And then November, December is like your second summer season. And that November, December, Wicked 2, it's going to be big. Yeah, it's going to be big.
Wicked for good.
Sure. Feel it.
You didn't like that?
Yeah, it was great.
Okay. Very cool. I didn't name Star Trek, but Star Trek is obviously a big one as well.
Is Star Trek coming out?
No, I'm saying when I was naming all of the things that could make big movies.
Sure. Mission Impossible, another one.
Yeah, that's a big one too.
So there's a lot of big movies coming. Paddington has had some, Paddington coming out. Those 2 movies did very, very well.
A friend that is very dear to me got me this Paddington cookie jar that sits in my kitchen. I really like it.
You're welcome. I remember.
That's you.
I remember. Do you still have it?
Yeah, of course. It sits in my kitchen.
Great. I love that. That's great. You gotta take a picture of that thing. Do you use it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
A lot of times I keep candy in there.
Yeah, that's what we do with ours too. We don't have Paddington, but we have some. We have the wise owl. We have that one.
It's actually really important to me that I keep my candy with a lid on it, so that if I'm going to be on a candy binge, I have to consciously take the lid off, take the back. Like if I just leave candy out, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Well, you know why you're not in trouble. Well, see, that's not going to work. That would have been a good transition.
Yeah, transition it. Let's see how you do.
It would have been good, but the problem is this: when I go here now, that comes up, and that's not what I wanted. So I'm going to try this again.
Well, it's what you always want, but
yeah, it's true. Here, Roxy, I'll tell you what. I talk about you all of the time when it comes to BetterHelp because we have discussed this. You have been obviously giving me your blessing to talk about this. I think that BetterHelp has obviously helped you out, and this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. And the things with the holidays, a lot of times with holidays, no matter it is people trying to stay cozy, and sometimes you get cozy, you get wrapped up in a blanket, you're in front of the fireplace, you got a hot chocolate, you watch a movie with a family, you want comfort. Well, therapy is also a great way to bring yourself some comfort that never goes away, even when the season changes. As I mentioned, Roxy is one of my good, dear friends that we had a discussion, it's got to be almost 2 years ago now. And I said to Roxy, you should really consider BetterHelp. And she did. And so I feel like it's kind of turned you around a bit, right, Rox?
Oh my God, completely. I see her tomorrow morning. I see her every Wednesday morning. Listen, something cool, and I'm not saying that every single person on BetterHelp does this, but especially as you were mentioning the holidays, my therapist was available on Thanksgiving and is available on Christmas.
Oh, I love that.
And the reason that is just kind of exemplary of how unbelievable it is for anybody who's kind of skeptical about doing online as opposed to in person. It just gives me so many more options because like I'm going back east soon. It is the holidays, especially when you've dealt with family loss. The holidays can be very difficult and randomly. And I can talk to her anywhere. I message her like every day, Kristian.
It's amazing.
I can send her messages every single day. She responds within an hour, every couple of hours, every day to me. So something comes up between sessions. which happened this week because it's been a very challenging week. And I sent her a late night kind of message. And she sends me things, worksheets and things and ideas and strategies. It's so practical and useful. And also just, you saw the place I was in a couple of years ago.
And I'm glad that and it has helped you tremendously. And as Roxy mentioned, it's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, as Roxy mentioned, flexible, suited to your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire, you get matched with a licensed therapist, you switch therapists anytime, no additional charge. So find comfort this December. Use BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com/bigthing. If you do, you get 10% off your first month. BetterHelp, HELP.com/bigthing. All right, Rox.
Yeah, Kristian.
So what else, by the way, is going on with you before we get into the questions?
In life?
Yeah, anything you want to promote or no?
Yeah, I'm excited about a bunch of different stuff. Obviously, Crust is on Amazon right now, which is cool. I was in another movie called Party of Darkness, which this is so wild, Kristian. I wonder if this has ever happened to you. It's playing festivals right now, and I haven't seen it.
Oh.
I haven't gotten to see it yet because it's not been here, and they are doing a cast and crew premiere end of January. But I started getting messages about people who've seen the movie that I'm in that I'm not in. I mean, that I haven't seen.
So I was like, they can't send you a link?
What'd you say?
They can't send you a link?
No, they haven't sent me a link.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, hope it's good. Please enjoy.
Oh man. Well,
I'm excited to see what I do, but it's called Party of Darkness. I'll keep you guys posted if it's playing somewhere near you. Spooky, scary horror anthology series. And then other than that, you guys know World Girls Wednesdays.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into some TV before we get into questions.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get some TV going. And the first one, Rox.
So this aired a little while ago, and I just hadn't seen Nikki Glazer's special, Someday You'll Die, on Max. I can't believe I didn't watch this when it came out because she is top tier comedian for me. If anybody who didn't know her prior to the Tom Brady roast, I think she just got so much buzz and love and attention after that. Also, she is the host of this show called F-Boy Island, and she makes the show watchable. She is phenomenal. She used to host at SiriusXM right next to a mutual friend of ours, Kristian, Sam Roberts.
Yeah.
And so whenever I would be going in for Jim Norton and Sam Roberts show, I'd look over next to us and it would be Nikki doing her show. And I always have admired this person. She just has comedy that is for me. Mm-hmm. It is like raunchy and about her priorities, which tend to align with mine. And this one is about her choice, which this isn't how I feel, but her choice to not have kids and how the world kind of talks to her and treats her about that. But it's laugh out loud funny. It is definitely what I was looking for after watching the Jamie Foxx special, which was not laugh out loud funny, was more like I told you guys last week, a sermon, inspirational, really, really good. But this was like just joke. And I needed the distraction this week, and she's hysterical. So funny.
Okay, so that's on.
Do you know people who know Nikki at all? Do you know how she is?
I think Ellis does. I hear she's good. You know, it's so funny though. I'll save that for an off-air story. All right, let's get to this one.
So excited to College Girls. So this is the year that Renee Rapp left. I think because her career is obviously just blown up and she's working on her music and other movies and stuff. But she is in the first couple of episodes, and I was curious how they were going to do this with her departure. They bring in a new fourth character who is unbelievably annoying.
Oh, and in a bad way?
I'm not sure yet. I'm hoping
which one's that?
She's not here.
Oh, she's not in the set.
So this is the four. This is the four.
Okay.
With Renee Rapp being the blonde one in the middle, but she is, Renee Rapp, Kristian?
Yeah, she's from Mean Girls.
Yeah. Okay. So she left. This other girl comes in. She is like the most annoying character, and on purpose. She is. I'm not saying this makes you annoying. Please hang in there with me, guys. She's a virgin. She's obsessed with her high school sweetheart. She is very judgy. All the other girls, when they're talking about sex, she's like, is this what you guys do? Like, you don't have boyfriends? She's just so unbelievably annoying. that I think that the show has a plan for her, but I'm an episode behind. And so far, I just want to wring her neck.
I don't think she's going to be a problem for me, though, because I don't think I'll ever watch this show.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, here's the next one.
This is going to be on my list every week. Get used to it, guys. I've told you. Silo, 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 Silo. This has already made my top 10 shows of the year, and we're not even halfway through. Man, oh man, if you are into sci-fi, if you love Rebecca Ferguson, if Apple TV puts out bangers that you are obsessed with, then you need to be watching this show.
You just mentioned everything that is tailor-made for me, and I've never seen a frame of this show.
Yeah. That's crazy. You'll love it. When you watch it, you're going to love it.
Yeah, you and my brother said
Get there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next one.
What'd your brother say?
He said the same thing you did. He said I love it. All right. Next one.
It's so good. So good. Watch it.
Oh, my wife just started watching this.
Okay. So this, I had no intention of watching and hadn't heard anything about it. Then I was scrolling on Netflix. It was the number 2 show, Lisa Kudrow and Ray Romano. And for those of you who have ever listened to me about anything, Lisa Kudrow is an absolute idol of mine. I love her. Obviously because of Friends, but also The Comeback, which I think is just one of the most underrated, brilliant shows ever. And so I was like, I will watch anything Lisa's in. I'm going to click on this. I watched the first episode and was like, okay. It is a murder mystery comedy. Then somehow I binged the whole show in a night. I don't know really what happened between me feeling like the pilot was okay and then me just being like, But at some point, I mean, because of the people in it, and it's also Linda Cardellini, it's just so many good people. Yeah. And you get kind of intrigued by who done it, what happened. It's funny. So it's an easy watch. It's kind of a lighter watch. But I think it's worth your time if you've watched most of the things that are already on your list and you're like, what else could I watch?
Okay. And so then the last one, I loved seeing this one on your list.
Yeah, man, I've been watching Reality Check with Ross Coulthart every single episode because I can't get enough of what's going on with the quote unquote drones.
Yeah.
The drones.
The
government says they're drones, so they're drones.
I got a crazy video I'm posting on my show today, Roxy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got someone
in New Jersey or what?
This was actually shot in Florida.
Ohio?
In Florida, this one.
Oh.
This one was shot in Florida, but it's a couple of days ago. And if it is indeed what this woman says it is while she was live streaming, it's pretty crazy. But go ahead.
So I actually continue to keep, as you know, and as people who have heard my story, my dad is obsessed, and we grew up caring about 2 different things: the JFK assassination and what was formerly known as UFOs, now UAPs. These were the things that he would talk to us about: this sighting, this thing, this conspiracy, this story, this whatever. So famously on Collider Live, aliens and shit. You guys remember me saying that. Kristian and I were really interested in the New York Times article that had came out. But this is something that I grew up really caring about. When I came home for November, I'm watching with my dad, watching. Funnily enough, Kristian, I'm on the phone with my dad the other day, and he referenced something on your show. And I was like, Dad, do you know that's my Kristian? And he was like, what?
He watches my show?
What? I swear to God. And I was like, you didn't put the pieces together that first of all, thanks for quite literally in 10 years, never having seen a single thing that I've done, Dad, because you would have known. But he's heard me talk about you so much. And he didn't realize that was you watching your show.
That's hilarious.
He likes when you do interviews. He wants more interviews. Just so you know.
He probably watched the James Fox interview.
I told him I'd let you know that. But anyway, so it kind of like reinvigorates my love for it. So when I was there, was watching so much stuff. And now we talk on the phone about Ross Coulthart's show because he does do a lot of amazing interviews and breaking down of all the different stories. And they're very lengthy, so that I like to listen to them in the car as well. But this is just crazy. And I was at a party with our mutual friend this week, Kristian, with Kevin, through a Christmas party. And when I was there, it's like I'm with very, very intelligent, smart people. And yet I mention it still is happening, where I mention the UAP situation in New Jersey, and everyone looks at me like I have 10 heads. Like
the stigma, right?
Yeah. And they're like, oh my God, it's just some kids flying drones.
That's so stupid.
And I was like, okay, if you think that,
That's
I
so
actually feel
stupid.
better because I know you haven't looked into it one bit.
No, that's so stupid.
There's no way you've seen any of this footage. And I started showing them. They're like, what the hell? And it's like, you think that kids are flying SUV-sized drones over military bases and shutting them down?
And besides that, the fact that the government doesn't have an official answer for it.
And also they continue to say, we know it's not dangerous, but we have no idea what it is.
We don't know what it is.
It can't be both. It can't be both.
Well,
you can't know it's not dangerous and not know what it is. So
I would highly recommend then, because that was right before we started filming. I was just wrapped up my episode for Down to Earth, and that's all we talked about. The whole thing. We talked about the different things that it could be. We talked about the report that it's us searching for hazardous materials. We talked about the report of other governments,
Russia, China, whatever.
Which those things, they would have been shot down over the last month if it was another government. So
people are like, we don't want to hurt their feelings, and we don't want to start more issues with Russia and China. So we would just start leaving them.
We're just going to let it fly around our
that's space. Very United States of us. We don't want to hurt their feelings, so we let them look at our military bases. What are you guys talking about?
I'm going to send you a video, Roxy, that I played on the show today. I'll send it to you before we post it, and you're going to lose your mind when you see the Florida video. Okay. I don't know what to make of it, and but anyway, that's all that. That's not Ross Coulter's show is great. He's someone who's getting the bottom of it, so I would highly recommend that. But that's all the TV stuff for now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm watching more things. You guys know I'm watching Creature Commandos. It's so far not up my alley. I'll touch back in on that next week, and I'll touch back in on Dune Prophecy next week. But they're just not fully doing it for me right now.
That's fair. All right, let's get to the first question. You got 26, Roxy, going into the questions. 26. You need about 70.
If Steph can do it, sure. I can't do it.
No, you might be able to. 73 to Tyroka. All right, here we go.
Okay, well, 73 is doable.
No, you need 73. You need 73 from now. Yeah.
This is doable.
Right. Roman Fedorak. Hey, all. KH, I love yesterday's discussion with Roka. Roxy, I'm enjoying your reactions. The Terminator one was awesome. Question. How does a studio make a good director like J.C. Chandler look bad? It's not as easy to just point blame on, the studio. And a lot of times the studio, you could say, overworked them, had them do this. They wanted to do this when they could have done that. And that a lot of times does happen. But you think that this is more J.C. Chandler's fault than it is the studio's? No, I think this is definitely the studio's fault, but I just don't always think that's the case. I don't think it's. I also think that, look, you said it before. He's still there in the meetings. You can have you're still there to bring forward the scripts. You're still there to direct your performances. Now, I don't know how much studio interference he got. It very well could have been, but we don't know the answer to that all the way. But the chances are they probably interfered a little bit, asked him to do this when he wanted to do that. So it happens, but it's kind of case by case,
Also, I don't believe that he's a writer on this movie.
So he just had to direct the piss.
I think it's a way bigger script issue than it was directed. I wasn't watching this like, oh my God, the direction in this is horrible.
Yeah.
Obviously he's a very skilled director, but I don't think that I think there were 3 writers on it, and I can look it up, but I don't believe that he was one of them.
All right, let's see. Next one. I have it here somewhere, Roxy. The next one. Hey, Roxy. I have just seen Always Lola, and I loved it. I highly recommend it. What is one film that inspired you to become an actress? And Kristian, I'm loving your UAP videos. Thank you, Levi.
Who is that from?
Levi,
thank you so much. It's really sweet. I've been getting, and maybe because it's the holiday time, more people are watching things. I've been getting so many people recently who are just watching Always Lola, and I'm so grateful for that. That's amazing. Thank you. One of the movies that really inspired me, and I had already known I wanted to be an actress at this point, but inspired me to think outside the box what I really want to do, was Monster, Charlize Theron in Monster. Because I was like, man, truly transforming is what I feel in my soul as an artist is my calling. Like, just really showing different stories of different types of people in all different kinds of ways. That doesn't mean that I don't love to do a a rom-com or something that is lighter. But that movie made me be like, wow, this is just crazy what you can do.
It's a good one. I mean, it was a great performance. Ewok.
Amazing.
Just watched Anora. It's a great roller coaster of a movie. Transitions seem seamlessly from a romance to thriller to screwball comedy to poignant drama. I loved it. I still got to see that one. You loved it, right?
I love this movie. It's a top 10 for me of the year. It's so good. I have to be honest with you, Kristian.
Yes.
I don't know that this movie's for you.
Well, you never know. We'll see.
No, I don't. Like I said, I don't know. This movie's. I don't know. It's not for you. I don't know if it is for you.
Okay.
I'd be curious your thoughts on this more than most of my friends.
Okay. Well, I'm going to see that one. I mean, I really want to see The Brutalist, but the thing's almost 4 hours long. My Lord.
Man, I went and saw Real Pain this week.
Oh, how
Did
was
you
it?
see that?
That's the Jesse Eisenberg one, right?
Yeah.
Any good?
I drove as far to go see it because it's only playing at Lemley's.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I did. It was
Loved
like, oh man, I love this type of movie.
Okay.
They did such a great job. I think that Kieran Culkin maybe should win for this.
You need to tell me things on text because I'll tell you this. Here's what happened. And I told Roka this. I made a vow to myself, Roxy. I said 8 movies in 8 days. I can do it. I go home. I watch a movie. 8 days. That was about 9 days ago. How many movies do you think I said I watched in those 9 days?
2.
None.
None.
No, I watched freaking what's the name? Arcane season 2. All right.
Oh, good. People like that.
It's good. Scott Harwitz just puts in a donation. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Next one is Mike Joyce. What's up, Mike? Oh my God, Roxy. How do you not know that dragons covet gold? I bet you don't even have a pocket protector, too. Who knew that fantasy bros were such a-holes?
Okay, so this is obviously
From The Hobbit.
about Hobbit.
Here we go again.
And Kristian, the big mistake hasn't dropped yet. And when it does,
the
I'm
one
just
you told
going to
me.
crumble and
Okay,
die.
okay.
I didn't know that dragons covet gold. I know, and I said this, I was like, oh, I know that dragons typically like protect treasure, but I didn't know that they covet gold. I got annihilated. You fucking idiot.
This is such a great rivalry, you and the Lord of the Rings fan base. It's hilarious.
It's crazy. I've never been as hated by anybody. It's really unbelievable. I'm going to start sending you text messages because of these comments that are like really vulgar and like crazy.
Read them out. Just don't give them.
And I got to tell you, at the very least, usually,
yes,
even if people don't like me in the comments, they'll be like, I got to say, at least she looks good. They call me Uggo.
Wow, you ugly plus ugly.
You're calling me Uggo.
Oh man, you're getting wrecked.
Like you don't like my brain or my looks. That's all I have.
I got to read these comments. RQMD SMD support for soon to be Aunt Roxy. That's right.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I had my brother on live at the Roxy a while ago, and I had no idea that he was going to do this, and he just came on. He was like, "I'm having a baby."
Oh, he announced it. That's great. Oh, that's great.
On live at the Roxy, I was like, "Oh, so you're telling people?" He's like, "I can't help it."
Oh,
Like,
good
he's
for him.
just
That's amazing.
He's over the moon. So
I love that.
Whenever it happens, I'm very excited.
I love that. Crystal DW fan just sent a gift. 5 memberships to people. Thank you so much for that.
Yay!
Very nice. Mad Sinister Macau. Harlow, who's your favorite Arcane sister and character other than the sisters? Roxy, any Terrifier 4 theories? Love the reactions. No, Greg, no. Listen, as far as the favorite Arcane sister, last season, it was Vi. This season, Jinx. And as far as the characters other than the sister, I would say, oh man, the kid. Shoot. God, Echo. Echo is my favorite. Echo's great. Echo is great. So, have you watched that show yet, Roxy?
No.
Oh man,
I know Steph's on me about it.
It's so good. The second season is like,
I haven't seen the first season, which I hear is one of the best seasons of television ever.
You should talk to Greg about that, and if you're going to watch them, you should do the reaction soon.
I know. Remember, I was sitting with the Riot Games people for the JOYMODE Awards, and they were talking all about Arcane season 2, and I was like,
if you I mean, damn it, if you lived here, I would watch that with you here on the
I hope
show.
it's great.
It's great.
When I watch it.
Mike Joyce. Roxy, you said on the
No,
what?
he asked me something.
What did he ask? Hold on.
I don't know. You tell me. I can't see it. It's not in front of me.
All right, let me go back. Fleedle-deedle-a-deedle-a-doo.
Fleedle-a-deedle.
No. Roxy, any Terrifier 4 theories? There you go.
Oh, so you said no.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Spoilers for Terrifier 3.
Who cares?
I think that there's a reason why the brother wasn't killed on screen. We've heard Damien say that it was because he loved the character too much that he just couldn't do it. But I'm hopeful that it's actually not the brother's head and that he is alive and that he comes back for the 4th one at some point.
I will never see those movies.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend them to a single person on the planet, but now I'm completely obsessed with them. It feels like Stockholm Syndrome. I love these movies. I think about them all of the time. Like, there's something wrong with me.
All right. Hey, Roxy, you said in The World Grows that there shouldn't be gendered acting categories at the Oscars. Why do you feel that way? Wouldn't that lead to more complaints?
I didn't say there shouldn't be, but I feel at this point things should be broken up by genre more than by actor or actress. I'm more interested in there being nominations for comedy, drama, musical, like and comparing people because it's not sports. I do think you could have a best actor and actress in comedy and you could compare a man to a woman. So I just think that the categories are a little antiquated. But that doesn't mean that I get why they do it like that. And if it would lead to there being no women nominated, then it's not a good call.
Right.
That's how I feel.
All right. Mike Joyce, I asked Steph to remind us of her poop story last week, and someone in the comments told me that Roxy had one too. Did you have a good poop story? I forgot. I don't know. She told that one. I don't think anything can top Steph's.
Steph's is crazy, and whoever asked that in the comments is fucked up because Steph is very much so. She said it on World Girls and was like, please do not bring this up on other shows. Oh. So that person's a trash bag. My poop story. I don't know what my poop story is.
Fine. All right. Kev the poet. Kristian, please remind Roxy what a good Arnie impression sounds like. Her Terminator reaction was great, but that Arnie impression was terrible.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Should we do dueling ones?
There's no duel.
Come on.
I'll be back.
No, see, that's the problem. Is that somebody you just got to
come on.
Nah, stop it.
I am
stop
here.
This. Stop this.
To terminate you.
There's nothing you're doing there that people are going to say, yes, you sound just like him. You sound nothing like me.
I sound just like him.
No, you sound like you did not get a good workout. You sound like you have a bad back problem. You do not sound good. You must stop.
You know this about me, Kristian, and you've known this about me forever. I actually find myself to be a very talented performer.
Yes.
Here's what I'm not good at: impersonations. There are certain performers who perform from the outside in, and they can just nail an impression. Denzel Washington is one of these people. He's a mimic. If he hears something, sees something, he can become it. I have to do things from the inside out. Whenever I've had to try to learn an accent or anything, I have to study it.
Yeah.
The way that you would think that I would study things. I cannot do impersonations to save my life. I have one voice, and I thought it sounded like Yoda until y'all told me it didn't.
I'll tell you what, you could probably, if you really studied Drew Barrymore's voice, you probably could do it.
Yeah, because she's also a side talker, and there's enough going on. I think I could do that too. But impersonations of like, oh, this is Christopher Walken, this is Arnie. These are people do.
Right.
I think in my head, I want you to know I'm nailing it. And then I listen to it back. I'm like, oh no.
Mustard, let's not be silly. Darth Vader's burnt asshole. I'd rather Sony keep Spidey. Them having the option to do something like Spider-Verse and try things is much more appealing than Disney just plugging the character to an endless series that doesn't try new things. This is another problem that people do all the time. It's not Darth Vader's burnt asshole's fault, but everybody does this all the time. Disney's not going to plug in anybody anywhere. That's not what they do. Marvel and the MCU and Kevin Feige might do that and might put him in places that, it's like, oh, here he is. They're putting him in this thing. Disney gives them the money and asks how much money you're making us, and then we want money back. That's what they do. They don't start plugging people in there in the same way that people say, I always say this. If you didn't give Disney credit for Endgame, you can't, say that it's their fault that they made some piss shit. So this is something, though, overall, though, the point.
Piss shit. That's piss with shit in it?
Yeah, it's just like it's bad diarrhea. So, so what I would say this, though, your point is not lost, and that Sony trying to refresh and do new things, I understand that can be exciting, but I think I'd rather see the character in a place that understands him more. My personal opinion. All right. Melissa Byrne. Kristian, choose the music. Moana 2 or Mufasa? Ah, man. It's probably not fair, Melissa, because I've seen Moana 2 1.5 times now, and I've seen Mufasa once. So the music stands out a little bit more in Moana. There's a song in Mufasa that I don't think works. Like really.
Like the lyrics?
The character is played by Mads Mikkelsen, and it's this, like, he's the villain, and it's like this really regal, scary, like Snow White lion. Like that's how the white, not the character, the color, a Snow White lion, and is just very intimidating with Mads Mikkelsen voice. And he sings this song and he goes, and I'll have to say bye bye. Bye bye. And I'm like, I cannot take you as a serious villain when you're going bye bye. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I was like, and every time he said bye bye, I'm like, no. I'm like, that's like what a kind of goofier character would say, but bye bye. That's what I said to my bye bye. That's what my little one says to me. Okay. Yeah. So right now I'll take Moana 2 because bye bye lost me. Mad Sinister.
But Wicked over both of them.
Oh, 100%.
The music.
Yeah. 100%. The music in Wicked is great. I told you, I liked Wicked a lot. I thought Cynthia Erivo was, I told you, really good. I just thought that Ariana Grande was better.
What do you like better? The Lion King original soundtrack or Wicked?
In 1994?
Yeah.
For me, 1994 Lion King.
Just ask.
Yeah, I'm not. Ask my daughter, she's gonna say Wicked all day long, singing those songs. If I gotta hear that one more time at dinner time. Mad Sinister Macau, who's your favorite Spider-Man? It's easily Toby for me. I would take a bullet for that man. So many great childhood memories from those first two films. I'll tell you, I think Garfield really captured the essence of the character, like really, really well. But I think Tom Holland's the best. I think Holland's the best.
I mean, there's the question, and this makes me sound like such a pretentious fuck, but are you asking who's the better Peter Parker, who's the better Spider-Man, or kind of who's the better both?
Do both. The overall
I think my pick is Andrew Garfield. Yeah. I have an affinity towards him. I've never disliked a Spider-Man movie, and I've never disliked a Spider-Man.
Okay.
So it's a tough call, but his movies obviously aren't my favorite of the Spider-Man movies.
Right.
But man, I just think
he's really good. It's not a bad answer. Ewok. The casting process for the new Harry Potter series sounds insane. They're auditioning over 32,000 kids and their parents for a decade-long TV commitment. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's so hard casting kids.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going to end up sounding like. You don't know what they're going to end up looking like. Yep. You don't know what their commitment to this career is. Yep. You don't know what their families are going to be like on set. I do not envy that casting director.
No, at all. 47 right now, Rox. 47, not bad. Fascia Bruta. What do you think about Jim Carrey unretiring? I said this the other day. I stand by it. No, and unless you're, again, Gene Hackman, I get it. You're going to announce you're retiring. I get it. If you're in your 65, 65 and under, I'd say don't say you're going to retire because you're not. Quentin Tarantino's not retiring. Jim Carrey's not retiring. I mean, even 65 for an actor, you just never know if they're going to come back. I mean, even Daniel Day-Lewis said, "I'm retiring." He's coming back for his son's movie. You're not retired. Don't say that. Just say I'm taking a break.
I obviously completely agree with you. I think it's ludicrous. This is like your craft, your career, your dream. And of course, you're going to come back. Most of you guys are. But if you want to retire, then just do it and maybe don't verbalize. Yeah. Just stop. Yeah.
I'm going to take a break.
Yeah.
Like when Jennifer Lawrence was overexposed, she took a break. She didn't say I'm retiring. She took a break. And it's like, you might be burnt out and be like, I don't want to do this anymore. But you're going to come back to it. That's
Kristian, how are my numbers?
I just told you, 48.
48.
Ewok. Roxy.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the 28 Years Later trailer?
I think this movie looks sick. They came out with they're now doing 28 Days Later on streaming, which I guess apparently wasn't anywhere on streaming.
Yeah, so they're bringing it on there finally.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, we talked about that for a bit last week. Let's see. So, next one. We're 48 so far, not bad. Joe for Show.
Joe for Show.
It's one of my favorite usernames. Showing support. You all bring the best vibes. Saying Joe for Show.
Joe for Show support.
Jedi Master for Life. Hey, Big Shots over here with the coughing, the talking, and the convulsing. That's from do you follow Andrew Dice Clay on Instagram?
No.
You really need to.
Really?
Always. It's the best follow. It's the best. Hey, Big Shot over here. So good. I love it. All right. 50. You hit 50. You got 50 left. Can you hit 50 in 30 minutes to beat Roka? We'll see.
To a minute.
Fireside reviews. Though I thought the Yellowstone finale and this season were just okay. I'm interested in the future despite not seeing the finale. How have you felt about season 5? How have you felt about season 5 overall? Well, that's clearly to you, Roxy.
Interested in the future despite not seeing the finale.
Yeah, you have not seen the finale. How do you feel about the season?
Me despite. Yes. I was like, you just said you saw the finale.
Yeah, you.
I like the season so far because it really features Kelly Riley. Are you fighting your microphone?
Yeah, it hit me. So I hit it back.
Are you well?
Nope. All right. So
I like it so far, but I haven't seen it yet. And I anything he puts out, I haven't watched the Billy Bob show yet, and I haven't watched Lioness.
I heard that's good.
I'm going to watch both.
RQM DSMD support for Roxy.
I love RQM DSMD.
Yeah. Okay. So now we get to Robert. First ever super chat. Thank you, Robert. Roxy, I miss your daily COVID show. What are your best and worst memory from that show? I remember how you helped people.
Oh, man. Yeah. Do you remember this, Kristian? I went live for 365 days in a row.
That's crazy.
It was crazy and very much in line with my personality. I'm an obsessive person. And I was alone during that. And a lot of you guys were too. So my favorite thing was just like every day I knew I'm going to get out of bed today and I'm going to do this show. And that was a reason to get out of bed. And like that really helped me get through that time. And also then you guys were sending me the most unbelievable message. That was really like the peak and core of my YouTube channel. Cause I'm really not for lack of better words, I'm not, as Kristian knows, I'm not really a YouTube channel girl. Like I have one so that I can talk to you guys when I want to, but Kristian a million times been like, if you want to grow your YouTube channel, I can help you. And it's really thoughtful of him, but it's just not really my career goal. So I just have it so that I can talk to you guys. But what was really hard was that I was heartbroken at the time and I was really fucking struggling. So if you look, and all that's documented. So when you look at that, it's sad to watch yourself when you're super not doing well.
Yeah, that was before BetterHelp.
That was long before.
Stephanie Litz, F1 movie has a Top Gun director. Very excited for it. Yeah, I want to see. I'm
Top Gun guy.
The Top Gun guy. I'm curious how that's going to do. By the way, that F1. I hope it does well. Kristian, unpronounceable. Thank you for keeping me entertained on this sick day off of work. I want to support Roxy. There you go.
Thank you.
People are
to a minute.
It's been a battle. It's been a battle so far between you.
Picking up.
You beat him last week. Can you beat him this week? Who knows? Stephanie Litz. Hey, Roxy. Nikki's joke about kids going into traffic was hilarious.
I thought every joke was hilarious. She's very risky, not risky. Like with some of her jokes, I'm like, ooh, they could not like this.
I know she
Very
doesn't,
funny.
but I don't feel like hers are forced. I always felt like Amy Schumer's are forced. I feel like hers are like real.
I actually have never watched Amy Schumer stand up.
I don't find her funny at all. But I do find
In movies either.
I thought Trainwreck was good.
Yeah, I like Trainwreck
I
too.
thought Trainwreck was good, but that's where it ends.
Yeah.
Okay, next one, Bonsai Brandon. Any details about the New Jersey drone that crashed? That wasn't a drone. That's one of the things. That's not one of the ones that. Yeah, that's the problem. There's so much misinformation out there in general that, like, there's one. If you look at it, if you type in, it turned out it was not what they were looking for. I'm telling you, if this thing, there's two theories that to me are the most probable, and and one of them is the scariest, and the other one is so out there that if it is true, the world changes. So I don't know.
Go with the what and what. I just want to hear brief.
The scary ones? Well, the scary one is that it's our technology, and we've been this is documented that there's missing hazardous materials like from New Jersey that they weren't accounting for. The government has said as much, and they're trying to find it. So the question is, the rumor is that these drones have been looking for these things, that they've been looking for nuclear.
And that it's American government technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other one is that it is indeed NHI, which is non-human intelligence. That it is these. You got to see this orb. This woman on this golf course. I don't know if this video has been proven authentic or not, but I'm going to play it on my channel later, and it's out there. This is the orbs of light that you've been seeing. This thing, she zooms in on it. It has this big ball of light, and then these two other things come, and then it's just a big ball of light, and it's just kind of moving around, and then after about a minute and a half, the ball of light turns into a freaking drone, and the same drones that we've been seeing over Jersey, and just scoots away. Now again, I don't know if this is it. She was live streaming, so it doesn't look like it's been fussed with, but it just sounds too crazy to believe. And when you see it on the video, you're like, I think that's what's happening, but I can't really tell. So it's like, I'm going to play the video later on the video. You guys can be the judge of it. I happen to think the scary option is the more likely option. But then again, Ryan.
You think that this is American technology?
More so than, it's definitely not foreign. There's no world.
No. I don't mean as opposed to Russian or Chinese technology.
I think that it's. I don't know what I saw in that Florida video today. I don't know. That video baffled me. I don't know what I watched with that video. You have to see it. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to send it off of my video. Like, the Florida video is crazy. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it goes on for like 5 minutes. But anyway, so there's a lot of information out there, and you don't know no one knows what's real and what's not. Okay. Crystal DW fan. My take, the government is lying about the drones. Well, that's 100% true.
Well, there's no take that includes them not lying about the drones.
Right. Well, that's the problem. And we talked about this on the show today. The problem is this. They've already lied so many different times. If it is foreign, they've lied about that. If it is us, and if it's our military, they've lied about that. If it is anomalous, they've lied about that. So they've lied 3 different times if it's any one of those 3 things.
Also, if they know what it is, they've lied about not knowing what it is. And if they don't know what it is, they've lied about what they've done to figure it out.
And then they should not be, none of them, everyone should get, it's like Lucasfilm. Everybody's fired. Because how do you not know what's flying over your skies? Go pal Sam Gadharan. Roxy, did you ever see White Queen with Rebecca Ferguson? It's the first time that I saw her. Maybe the first thing she did outside of Sweden. No,
it's a movie?
Yeah, I guess so.
I never even heard of it.
No, me neither. But she's great. Marcus M. July 25th is the most stacked month of blockbusters. July 2025 is the most stacked month of blockbusters. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm telling you. I'm surprised that Roxy didn't think it was a staggering.
No, I think it's stacked. I just think it's cool, the variety in how it is stacked.
Yes. Nerds and games.
That's my birthday month, and Superman comes out like right at my birthday, so I'm very excited about that.
Nerds Engaged just throwing some support. Thank you, Nerds Engaged. Jake Yakavetta. Hey, Kristian, I said what I said. Get out of my DMs. That bastard last night, son of a bitch. So last night, I don't like to engage publicly on Twitter. I hate it because people get involved in stuff and then they use I don't like people on social media. So Jake writes this thing about Jake likes to yell at people on Twitter. So he yells he yells at everybody and says, "The Last Jedi is great. Get over it." So I DM'd him and wrote, "It stinks," with an exclamation point. So hours later he responds and he goes, "What did I do?" So I post a GIF of showing him that it's The Last Jedi. So I post him the Luke one. He still doesn't understand what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
So then the fucking guy takes the DM and posts it. And he
Why?
Goes, I don't know. And he posts it and he goes, "What did I do?" And I go, and I write another DM. I go, "What the fuck are you doing? Take it off the thing." He's like, "I'm sorry. I didn't realize people were looking at it." He took it off immediately. But I was like, fucking Jake.
Oh my God, Jake, I adore you, but you be doing such weird shit sometimes.
Well, there you go. Nerds Engaged, who also gifting more memberships. Thank you, buddy.
Oh.
Awesome. Go Pal. I saw that Anora is out on Amazon. Should I watch that or the last 2 episodes of Lioness? Well, neither one of us has seen Lioness, and Roxy's seen Anora, so I'm going to guess she's going to tell you to see Anora.
Yeah, but I hear Lioness is absolutely amazing. It's just a way bigger commitment. I mean, you're talking about a 2-hour movie versus multiple seasons of a show.
That's true. Nerds Engaged, putting a little more to help. Thank you. Mike Joyce. Now that you've seen the Hobbit movies, you should check out Benedict Cumberbatch doing the motion capture for Smaug. It's amusingly funny to see. I don't think I've ever seen that. So the second movie is the best one for sure.
Yeah, I like Smaug. I thought he looked amazing.
Yeah.
And he coveted gold, which was original for me.
Yeah, there you go. Fascia Bruta. You love pizza, but how about the best burger place? Best burger place, it depends on what you're talking about. You're talking about fast food burger place?
Are you talking about New York, LA?
I don't know what he's talking about. But there's some, I mean, look, the fast food, In-N-Out to me is no joke, and I miss it. It's the one place.
Did you ever used to go to Umami Burger before it closed?
Yes, I loved Umami Burger.
I loved Umami. I'm so bummed that doesn't exist anymore.
It's super expensive, but it was good. It was really good. I liked Umami Burger. But In-N-Out was my favorite in the fast food place. There's a place out here that's been around forever. It's like and Ken told me about it, actually, strangely enough. And it's called All American Burger. And my mom used to go there when she was a kid. And we went there. We've gone there a couple times. It's pretty good. But there's a couple of different places.
There was a place called Golden State that I used to love also, that had an amazing burger. That closed down too. Usually, like if you go to any amazing steakhouse or a lot of seafood restaurants have a really good burger as well. But Mel's Diner, if you're just looking for a smash burger, they have the best smash burger. So good.
Well, there you go. Mirror Domains. What bomb deserved better this year? I was going to say Furiosa. They say Furiosa? Yes, Furiosa. I think Furiosa should have done better. Is there a movie that didn't do well that you think should have done
I don't know about the box offices as much.
Okay. Yeah, but Furiosa, you would agree, right? That should have done better.
If it didn't do well, then yes.
Oh, no, it ate it. It ate it.
Then
bad.
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Star Wars overall. Kristian, do you still have Streamlabs? No, I don't use Streamlabs anymore.
Somebody messaged me the other day asking me about that, and they said that your super chat doesn't work for them.
Oh, I don't know, but yeah, super chat's the only thing that I use. I don't use Streamlabs anymore. Crystal DW fan gifted 20 memberships. Holy moly! Thank you, Crystal. Huge. Bobby Yonce. Any plans to see Queer? I have it on my app. I gotta watch it. It was a challenging film, but rewarding to me as a whole. Daniel Craig was phenomenal. Roxy, are you still using Letterboxd? I will. The first part of that question. I do want to see it. I love Luca and I love Daniel Craig, so potentially.
Yeah, I want to see it as well. I've never really been using Letterboxd. Now I do use it the way I use my notepad, which is I just keep a list of the movies I've seen this year, so that when people ask me my favorites, I can kind of look at it. But man, you can go follow me over there if you want, and you'll see. I just use it as a list.
Okay, next one we have is from our buddy Noah Sports. Roxy hasn't seen Andor, right? I'd love to see her react to it or review each episode before the second season is released. I'm so surprised you still haven't seen that yet.
I did see Andor.
Oh, you did? Oh, Ahsoka. Yeah. You didn't see Ahsoka.
Yeah.
That was an Andor.
I saw Andor.
Okay.
So,
Daniel,
I watched Andor as it came out every week, talked about it with you guys every week.
I knew that. I was going to say, that doesn't sound right, but it was Ahsoka. Daniel Breen. This one's for Roxy. Yup.
Yep.
Matt Thomas. I disagree about Bye Bye. Matt Thomas disagrees about Bye Bye. Best song of Mufasa the Lion King.
Really?
I just didn't. The song is fine, but it doesn't fit the main. You got to tell me, Matt, that the character who is like this serious killer the whole time, not cracking jokes at all, is going, I don't have to say to you, bye bye. It's so stupid.
Kristian, what's our number?
61.
Okay,
That's
it was
pretty
15
good.
minutes. Let's
15
go.
minutes. Pretty good. And RQMD SMD says support for Roxy. Nerds Engaged, a member for 2 months, says thoughts on the Bluey movie news. Here's what I hope. I hope that it is still my little one, my 7-year-old is obsessed with Bluey. Obsessed. I'm hoping that she's still into it when it comes out because I want to take her to go see it still, but I don't know if she's still going to like it when she's 9. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm so excited for this because I'm about to be an aunt, and Bluey, because I'm Auntie Roxy to all my friends' kids. Bluey is like such.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
When kids are like, "Can we watch Bluey?" I'm like, "Oh, thank goodness!" It's the shortness of the episodes, the character.
Makes you feel good too. Yeah, it makes you feel good. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. And my daughter plays the video game too. It's just sweet. It's a sweet little show. Freddie Ricks just got gifted a sub, so I wanted to pay it forward to Roxy. I just saw the Alien movies for the first time, and I don't get why people like Aliens most. I think it's because the action side of it. I think Alien is a horror. You might be a horror person because horror thrill. I mean, that's the classic film, and then it just gets stepped up with a pure action movie in Aliens. So, you seen both of them, Rox?
Yeah, but I don't remember them.
Oh, okay. Star Wars overall. Who had the better teaser trailer? Superman Returns or Man of Steel? For me, it's Superman Returns. Really looking forward to Thursday. I can't give a clear-cut answer on that because I don't remember as much.
I don't remember either.
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and watch them, but I remember being pretty hyped up for both of them. But I love Superman, so I'm hoping this trailer hits. I know it's going to. Crystal DW fan, loving your reactions to the first Hobbit movie, Roxy. I can't wait for you to see the rest.
Oh man, be kind to me for the second one.
Yep. RQMD SMD, support for Roxy. And then Miro Domains. Either you watch Dennis's new movie trailer. No, I got to see it. I know that. I remember when he was shooting it, and because I think what's funny is, and I want to ask Dennis this. I should have Dennis on to promote the movie, but Dennis was working with us at Skybound, and I knew that Dennis is such a great director, and he's very smart. I wanted to have him do some of the scenes for the Schmodown, so I had him start working with Andrew Guy on some of the Schmominati stuff. He shot a lot of that stuff, and I think. And I'll have to ask Dennis this, but I think that's where he started working with Guy a little bit more and seeing how good of an actor Guy was, and cast him and then cast Sinead to be in the movie. So,
of course, I watched this trailer.
Was it great?
I really like Dennis, and obviously Andrew is a good friend of mine and was also in Always Lola with me. The trailer looked great. I wanted to go downtown to see this in the Culver City the festival. I thought it was going to be in Culver City, and then it was downtown. It's called the Culver City Film Festival, and then they played it downtown, and I was like, oh man, I don't have enough time to be able to get there and back, but I'm really excited to watch. I think it's a short film.
Yeah, it's short.
So yeah, but the trailer looked awesome, and I didn't even mention I love Sinead. She's so great. Yeah. She was over at Clever when I was at Screen Junkies. We were in the same building, and she's always been wonderful.
She's always reminded me of Zoe Kravitz.
I think that Sinead is like one of the prettiest people I've ever seen in my life in person.
She's
but
cool
she's also
too.
Just cool. I like her a lot.
Yeah, she's cool. She reminds me of Zoe Kravitz in the cool factor.
I didn't know she was an actress.
Oh yeah, Marcus M. What's your thoughts on the Superman trailer theme? Well, we talked about that earlier. I don't know if you missed this, but we both loved the actual announcement to the trailer because the trailer doesn't drop until Thursday. But we both loved the theme, right, Rox?
Obsessed.
Yeah. And
Chills.
RQMD SMD support for Roxy.
Let's go.
Jedi Master for Life. Roxy, Interior Chinatown. Have you seen it? If so, please explain the Via-induced ride I went on.
I haven't seen it. I know this is on a bunch of my friends' top 10 of the year. Wow. So I am intrigued, but no, I haven't checked it out yet.
RQMD SMD, more support there for Roxy. Marcus M. 2025 Conjuring and Insidious sequels are a week apart. Yeah, it's crazy. telling you.
I've never seen Insidious, but I have been doing the Controverse recently for Real Rejects, and I'm really liking it.
Yeah.
Very good.
So funny. So you say your thing wrong, I say my thing wrong. Kai Peterson says, just tuning in to hear you all say Rohirrim and Aragorn.
How do you say it?
Rohirrim. I guess that's not how you say it.
How does this one say Rohirrim?
I don't know.
Rohirrim. I don't know.
I don't know. But I guess it's not Rohirrim. And Aragorn is what you say?
I don't know. Now I try to really say Aragorn.
Yeah, now you say it right.
Now I try. Yeah.
Yeah. Kristian Unpronounceable. Hey, Roxy, are the Royal Rejects going to cover Severance?
I actually talked to Greg about this week because I was like, do you have anybody covering Severance? He was like, no. Is that something we should cover? And I was like, because he never, ever, Kristian has me do TV shows, ever.
Wow.
And I'm the TV girl. Yeah. So I'm like, the only one I've ever done is Has Been Hotel, and it crushed for us.
Yeah.
And I love Severance, but I hear where he's coming from. So I'm not sure if we're going to do it or not, but I hear where he's coming from. I don't know if a Severance.
I don't think it would.
One would perform for them.
I think he's right. I think he's probably right on that.
Yeah. So, Greg knows way better than anybody what works because he's been doing this for 10 years.
Well, he knows his algorithm too. He knows what the audience is going to do. Like, look, this is the other thing. You look at like Breakfast All Day, which is Alonzo and Christie's channel, right? They put certain movies out, reactions and reviews that they do that I know are going to do well for them that are not going to do well for like me. And I could review the same movie. And
Alonzo, my name's Roxy Stryer.
I really want. We got 8 minutes, so I want to make sure we get to these. Fascia Bruta. Thoughts on the guy who's the grassy knoll shooter? What's that? What do you mean? Is that like did they announce? Did they find out who it was? Is that? I'm confused by that question. Did they actually expose the guy who it was? Levi. James Gunn has said Superman action sequences took inspiration from Top Gun Maverick. Thoughts? That's cool. That's awesome.
Maybe they're asking who I believe is the grassy knoll shooter. Thoughts on the guy who is maybe they're saying because I said I was interested in the JFK assassination. Okay. Listen, I think that Oliver Stone has his finger on the pulse on this one, and exactly in his doc. I think that the CIA is heavily involved in this, and I don't believe in the magic bullet theory.
Yeah. Did you listen to the Rob Reiner podcast?
No, I haven't yet. I have not.
You should listen to that one. Oshi Bishar. Have you heard about this wrestler named Stephen Flow? He's grunge theme, and his theme song is Even Flow by Pearl Jam, but all the lyrics are changed to Stephen Flow. No, that's hysterical. That's pretty hilarious. Stephen Flow. I love those Instagram videos or the reels when they change the names, or when the Pearl Jam songs it's the same. It's the actual lyrics, but they show people's names because you can't understand what Eddie Vedder's saying, so it looks like the person's profile picture.
Yeah, that's funny.
Mearsham says support for Roxy.
Oh, thank you. What number are we at?
73.
73 is stellar.
That's stellar.
We are moving on up. Yeah. Let's go.
Roxy, this is Mike Joyce. Is your laptop still messed up from spilling the tea? I saw computers on sale for $700 on Black Friday. Maybe there'll be a Christmas, New Year's sale.
So, Kristian, I go on Friday to do DJ Wildridge's show.
Yeah.
I open my computer, we go live, and I spill on the entire computer.
No.
This is my computer. I'm clearly not on it.
Yeah.
So I'm on a PC of a friend's right now, and it is doing okay. When you do something like that, it's a $2,500 mistake. There isn't a laptop that will work for streaming. That's a Mac that I can get for $700. That doesn't exist for the amount of space and RAM that I need. So, but right now it's doing okay, but the PC is working for now for streaming. So, I have to be kind to myself. I've had a really, really, as I've mentioned multiple times, difficult week. So I fucked up.
Yeah, it sucks. I'm sorry.
Sucks.
Fireside Reviews have been following Roxy since Collider Live, and you are an amazing human being filled with joy and hope, and you deserve nothing but care and happiness. How nice is that?
That's really fucking nice.
See? Christian DeHoy, just supporting rocks. Look at that. Mearsham. I am now watching somebody somewhere lately. Is that something that I what's that?
It's just called Somebody Somewhere, and lately they're watching it, and I reviewed it for you here.
Perfect. RQ MDSMD. I need a GoFundMe for Roxy to get a new computer.
Man, I'm just like really upset about it, but it's working. It's just the things are hard to push, and whatever. I soaked it in rice for 36 hours and it's at least it's turning on and doing okay. And I have access to my files. I have to get Brett's giving me a hard drive so I can back things up, and I need to get it from him ASAP.
Dancing Dog 60. Is a new Friday the 13th ever going to be made? Jeez. Ever? Yes. When? I don't know.
I just watched all of them for the first time, so I'm feeling caught up.
Was that on Real Rejects?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Karen Potts. Over under 60% that the Fantastic Four makes more than Superman. Ooh, that's a tough one.
I think no. I think Superman's going to make more than Fantastic Four.
I think this is going to be the most successful Superman movie of all time.
Over under 60%, Fantastic makes more than Superman. Makes more than 60%, or over under is 60?
Over under 60. I'm going to say under. I think Superman's going to be huge.
Me too.
Yeah. Dancing Dog 60. What snacks do you sneak into the movies? I snuck pizza onto a train yesterday. I didn't really sneak it. I just ate pizza on a train.
Did you bring it into the movie?
No.
I always try to bring things. Like if I have little Reese's cups or something, I'll throw them in my bag, or these like little Hershey's that I do. I try to just give myself a little bit of variety in there. I love to bring a Clementine in.
Yeah. I don't really necessarily sneak stuff.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Crystal W fan gifted 50 more memberships. Holy moly. Thank you, Crystal. Crushing. Dancing Dog 60. Buy a laptop before the tariffs kick in.
I know. I heard that they believe laptops are going to go up by 30%. Oof.
Victor Garrity. Severance is more for the podcast after shows, not reactions. I kind of agree.
I kind of agree. Yeah. I kind of agree. I think I'll do something for the social media there or something. But we'll see. Greg hasn't said that he doesn't want me to do it yet. So he might change his mind. I don't know.
Yeah. He follows that up. Also, just watched an amazing doc about UAP called The Phenomenon. Have you seen it? Yes, I've seen it. It is one of the must-tos when you're getting into it. So the director of that film, his name is James Fox, The Phenomenon. I just interviewed him on my channel, which is probably the interview that Roxy's dad watched. And it is he has a new movie that just came out yesterday. Roxy, have you watched his movie yet?
The new movie? What is it?
Oh, you need to watch it. Write it down. It's The Program.
Where is it?
It's on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. So
I will.
Oh yeah. It's about the reverse engineering program. So I would recommend everybody, even if you don't believe in this stuff and you don't talk about the UFOs.
How was it? So good.
It's so
informative.
It's informative. It would be very informative for you right now as you're catching back up and you're perfect for you. I knew all this stuff because I'm covering it every day. But James told me it's an entryway video. It's it's for mainstream audience.
Cool.
Crystal DW fan. Let's beat Roka. They're trying to get you. It's gonna be tough to do, but you're getting close. Karen Potts just helping Roxy with Harloff. You cool. Thank you.
You guys rock. This is so kind. What number are we at, Kristian?
This is the last one. RQMDSMD throwing in some support. That puts us at 79 with 2 minutes
Good job,
left.
guys.
That was good.
Honestly, way to support the channel. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
Well,
Roxy, any other day, a 79 is a massive number.
Yeah, it's huge. You guys crushed.
80. Victor Garrity. Working, but the things are hard to push. Name of your sex tape. Kristian, my wife is pregnant and wait. Working, but the things are hard to push. Name of your sex tape.
Did you say that? Working, but things are hard to push?
Working, but things are hard to push.
Did you say
that? Name
that?
of your sex tape. I guess so. I must have. Kristian, my wife is pregnant and cravings are ridiculous stuff, like $50 cupcakes from DC. What were some of your wife's crazy cravings? I don't really remember. I think maybe sweets and stuff too, but it was like she didn't have any like the really kind of strange cravings. I mean, I'm gonna have to run out and get her a salad somewhere, but not sure. But thank you, Victor, and I hope your wife's doing okay. And just the best thing is just listen to her. ZB saw crust, needs more Roxy, and Twist made it work though.
Thank you so much. Yes. Release the Roxy cut. But thank you for watching. I appreciate it.
This is hilarious. Anytime anybody's getting ready to beat Roka, PLD puts in money and says Roxy deserves to beat Roka. Crystal just follows up and says $2 or two. So we got 83. 80 for
Wow,
Roxy.
you guys absolutely annihilated. I really appreciate it, even though we knew that 100 was going to be very difficult to get to. You guys really went for it anyway, and I'm happy for Roka. I hope that he gets a W. It took me a really long time to get one, so
yeah, super sticker there from Kristian. They're at 84, but still, they're trying. They're trying to push you over before 84.
We get out of here. I mean, Kristian, 84 is so good.
84 is usually a winner every week. 84 is probably going to get you to the number one spot.
That's crazy. You guys are 85. The cutest.
Jenny Lynn Lawson with 85, and I think
I
that
love Jenny Lynn.
If it wasn't for Roxy's tough schedule, she would probably be able to beat him today. But
yeah, but I don't believe in going over to beat somebody because then
the only way you go over is if questions keep coming in before you leave.
All right, well, let's see how they do.
Mike Joyce brought in another one. I agree with the Zeeble. Crust 2, Rhonda's Revenge.
That's my character's name is Rhonda.
Yeah. Someone said you can't eat sandwiches and sushi while pregnant. That's true. Sandwiches you can eat, depends
on
what
you just can't eat deli meat.
Right. But sushi definitely can.
You know what?
PLD, not this day.
My girlfriends stay, like a lot of their doctors now say, if you once a month, once whatever, if you're having a sushi craving, just go for it. Everything's different now, and listen to your doctor.
Just see what they say. All right, Rox, oh man, these keep more support.
What's happening?
It's RQMDSMD. They're doing what they did to Steph. You're at 89 right now.
89. Wow. Okay, I'm now looking at the chat. PLD, Nerds Engage, RQMDSMD. How many has RQMDSMD given today?
I know, I'm not sure. But now we're going to sign off. So thank you. Right as I said.
At 89. Wow.
That's another one 90. PLD Projects. Don't let Roka win on my birthday. Happy birthday, PLD.
Is today PLD's birthday?
It looks like it.
Oh, I feel so bad. PLD sent me a DM and he was like, hey, Rox, in case you haven't finished the Hobbit series, you made this mistake in the first one, and he explained why. And I was like, I already watched all 3.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
I guess they're not called orcs. They're called
Orcai.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Something else. I don't know. I don't know.
Armada. Hey, Kristian, did you see that someone drove on the Long Island train station? Plus, you're going to watch The Return with Ray Fiennes is what I call him. So, no, I didn't see that somebody drove on it, but lunatics out here, I could definitely see.
What do you mean they drove on the Long Island train station?
I guess so. Crystal WD fan putting in a super sticker. ZB, come on, Roxy. Nerds Engaged, super sticker. And says with 94. Oh, hold on. 96. RQ, MD, SMD. Crystal, $2. Thank you, Crystal. 96. But I gotta hit the button.
I feel so bad for Roka because the people literally want him to lose so bad.
They just want you to win.
They actually like me.
They want you to win. So
it's very sweet. Thank you guys. Yeah. We're the little engine that could today on this.
Yes. All right.
Tuesday morning.
We did it.
Kristian, I see 2 more coming in. You can't lie.
All right, let's see. Hold on. JOYMODE. I love a buzzer beater win. Go Roxy. Nerds Engage. Kristian Punstable. I'll tell you what. I'll play.
Kristian, there are more.
There's more coming in. Hold on. Let's see. So, old Mr. Chris, happy birthday, PLD. Get it, Roxy. Victor Garrity.
Chicken and beer.
Got a rabbit named Benjamin. He's a gentleman, but he saw my Chewbacca slip through and it was a lady robot. Those are his new slippers. Sure, Victor. Oh, my God. So then Crystal D fan, $2. Handsome Ransom, showing love for Roxy. Nerds
I
Engage.
love Handsome Ransom.
Suck it, Roka. Sorry. PLD. Roxy is the better R. Star Wars overall. Roxy's got to defeat Roka. RQMSMD. Come on, Roxy. Crystal. Go, pal. And I'll play a Bob Dylan song when you win, okay? If you win. All right, Roxy?
What are we at right now, Chris?
I don't know how it happened, but it did. There's Roxy Stryer with the win. And it was a little of this, a little of that. She just defeated the man with the cowboy hat. Yeah, she got the win. How you gonna be? Roxy got the win with 114 in. She got the win. Yeah, you beat Roxy. She got the win. Wow. So that was, and there's more coming in. Dancing Dog 60. What movie scared you both as kids? Friday the 13th. Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street 1. Crystal D with $2 in. Melissa Burns' favorite dragon. Oh man, Toothless.
The dragons they covet gold.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe that you basically pulled the Steph here.
I mean, what are you gonna say to him, Kristian?
I'm not saying anything yet. I'm just what I'm gonna say, because look, there is also a very good possibility that Steph does something.
Yeah, true.
And then that whatever we do know is that Roka didn't win this week.
Yeah, we know he didn't win,
and he's gonna lose his mind because he put it up because he thought he had it in the bag. I did too, to be honest with you.
Thank you guys. Right. That was so sweet. I feel the love today, and yeah, it's nice to feel supported, even if it's I don't know whether you guys like me or dislike him, but whatever the combo was.
Well, but they can't dislike him too much. He did 100 yesterday.
I know.
So
that. They like me?
Yeah, I think so.
They really like me?
Yeah. Well, that's it. We did it. 115. Roxy now is the person to beat. She is in the power seat with some more shows coming up. We'll see if anybody can do it. Roxy?
Oh, yes. Steph's going to be here for the Superman trailer, man.
Steph's going to be here for the Superman trailer. Yeah. So Steph's got a good shot to do it. And I don't know if Mike is on. If Mike's on with DC also, they got a good shot too.
Yeah, that's a good shot. And man, she's just so fucking likable.
Spencer Drake. Sorry, Roka. Roxy, FTW. So that's 116. There you go.
Oh, damn, Spencer. Putting the cherry on the...
Let's get out of here. Guys, thank you so much. Roxy, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. I got a Sonic 3 out of the theater reaction coming to you tonight. Make sure that you guys check that out. We got a whole bunch of things coming. So thank you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the support. You guys rule. Roxy rules. We'll see you on the flip side. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. See you later.